Hi, my name is Larry Brock, and I'm the Conservative candidate in Brantford-Brant. Brantford is my hometown. I live here with my wife Angela and our twin 12-year-old daughters. My wife Angela is an acute care nurse and has been on the front line dealing with this pandemic for just over 18 months. Our daughters are like a lot of other kids. They're very active and they enjoy competitive swimming with the Brantford Aquatic Club. I've been a lawyer for almost 30 years, the past 18 as an assistant Crown attorney. It's been my job as a Crown attorney to keep our community safe and to hold offenders accountable for their actions. At the same time, I have stood up and supported victims of crime, advocating for them and other vulnerable members of our community. In my private life, I volunteered with organizations that support some of the less privileged people in our community. I was a board member and president of St. Leonard's Community Services. This agency fights homelessness and drug addiction and helps those with mental health issues. It supports people caught up in the criminal justice system as they work to better their lives and rehabilitate themselves. In 2015, I was fortunate enough to chair the fundraising campaign of the Brant United Way, where myself and 16 other professionals raised over $1.6 million for local charities. Many of those agencies work with the disabled, such as the Adult Recreation Therapy Center, Brantwood, and the Canadian Hearing Society. I made it a point as the chair to connect with all of those charities. I visited them and learned as much as I could about their programs. One particular group grabbed my attention, and that was the Crossing All Bridges Learning Center. This center was started by a group of dedicated moms in 2003 who wanted to help their own children with developmental abilities. At age 21, they lose the support of the school system, so they are really on their own as they try and navigate the next stages of their lives. I joined the board and eventually became the chair. During my time, we began a fundraising campaign to find a permanent home for the center where it could improve the quality and range of the programs. We raised $2.5 million, and in 2018, Crossing All Bridges purchased the former elementary school on Sky Acres Drive, where we now call it our home. My time with all these groups has given me a solid understanding of some of the challenges disabled people have in our community here in Brantford-Brant, and it will help me to be a strong advocate for them if I'm fortunate enough to win on September the 20th. At this time, I'd like to address some of the questions. The first question put to me was, how will a conservative government help people, particularly seniors, who want to age in place? We have a plan to support seniors. We will change the home accessibility tax credit to increase the limit to $20,000 for a couple to renovate their home to make it more age-friendly. We will allow seniors or their caregivers, including their own children, to claim the medical expense tax credit for home care instead of only allowing them to claim attendant care if they live in a group home. We will also pay $200 a month to the children of seniors who are providing care to a senior parent over 70 living in the child's home. We know that some seniors continue to work in retirement, so we want to increase the Canada Workers Benefit to $2,800 for individuals or $5,000 for a family, so working seniors can get a pay increase. The next question is, how would I engage with folks who experience marginalization within society and government-regulated programs? My work as an assistant Crown attorney made me aware of the needs of marginalized members of our community. I've prosecuted hate crimes, and I've worked with victims, such as abused women, who felt that no one was listening to them. My charitable work has also connected me to people who feel left out or behind in society. My job, if fortunate enough to be elected, will be to take that knowledge and turn it into everyday actions in the way that I interact with marginalized people. It's also important that my staff, who spend a lot of time dealing with the public, are sensitive to their needs. We'll do that because it's the right thing to do. The next question is, how would I help disabled people find a path to economic recovery after the pandemic? We know that many Canadians live with a disability, whether visible or not. They need to support full lives, participating in the mainstream of society. I've seen that happen at Crossing All Bridges. They showed me we can make it happen for more disabled Canadians. As a party, Canada's Conservatives will double the disability supplement in Canada Workers' Benefit to $1,500. We will sort out the complex array of programs and benefits that can actually leave someone further behind if they are working. We will make sure they will benefit from more of the income they earn. And lastly, we will make it far more easier to qualify for the disability tax credit, which will save a disabled person or their family an average of $2,100 a year. It will also be easier to qualify for the Registered Disability Savings Plan. Next question. What specific steps would you take to support the opening of a safe consumption site in Brantford? As an assistant Crown Attorney, I know firsthand how serious the drug abuse issue is in Brantford-Brant. We see it in the streets. We see it in an increase in the crime rate, particularly with the number of gun offenses. Canada's Conservatives will treat the drug epidemic as a health issue and help addicts get treatment. We support safe consumption sites as a step towards recovery for addicts. There is a process that has to be followed before a site can be set up. We will have to be sensitive to community concerns, but I will be an advocate for the safe consumption site and work with all other levels of government and the public to see that one is established. And lastly, how will my party commit to implementation and strengthening of the Accessible Canada Act? Bill C-81 was debated in 2018. At the time, our leader, Erin O'Toole, pointed out that it needed more teeth. It lacked timelines, and there was no commitment to ensure that accessibility had to be front and center in federal infrastructure projects. Conservative MP John Barlow said that a future conservative government would strengthen the act. It would be my job as your MP to ensure that Mr. Erin O'Toole and Mr. Barlow and all of the other Conservative MPs live up to that promise we made to disabled people to fix this act. I want to thank you for this opportunity to discuss these important issues with you. Thank you.